Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I knew there was going to be some amazing stories from over the weekend. We'll have to unpack a few of those, from Jaber and Virginia's big trip to the Keys for a wedding. So that's fun. Always nice to start into a Monday when you got all that. Just looking at some of the photos. If you missed the regular show today, Virginia was put to bed early on Saturday before the sun even went down. She decided to get in a shot race with another person who wound up puking by the pool.
Yeah, so. I mean, I guess I'm just happy I didn't puke.
I'll tell you what, though, the girl that did puke, she wins the fight because Virginia gets the knockout. You are out of the party early. The girl was still sort of standing and threw up. She was out longer. She gets the win.
She threw up because she's not a real alcoholic. She probably doesn't drink as much as I do.
That's an amazing statement.
And she threw up and got it out of her system, and then she's like, oh, okay, now I can make rational, reasonable choices.
Yeah.
And then she stayed out.
Gotta tell you that tequila, though, when you said you did one of those, that's not
such a dumb idea.
Yeah, I'm a person that now I drink tequila a good bit, and I've had my bad nights on that, and I've realized that it is two tops, and I don't shoot them, I sip them, and even then, you just don't do more than two. Anytime I've done more than two tequilas,
everything's fucked.
It's a bad idea. So if you can't hold yourself,
That's what I was drinking that one time when we did that Cinco de Mayo event, and I was doing tequila. Remember, it was on like a Tuesday night, and it hits you in a different manner.
Yeah.
And the thing we're finding out too, it is odd that as you get older, you think like I've been doing this my entire life. I don't know what it is. I am a worse drunk now than I've ever been. Like I used to be able to plow down a lot. I don't know if it's my fluctuation, but yeah, I feel like I don't know what it is. I get more hammered now on less liquid than I used to. I used to be able to slam stuff and just shake it right off and be like, okay, I'm good to go. Now it hits me hard and quick and takes me down for the count.
You old?
I am. I'm like, I couldn't figure out what the hell is going on with me. I think it's just the body changes.
Age, bruh.
Yeah, you don't have the ability to knock down, and you got to mentally. The problem is you got to mentally readjust. I think when you hit into your 40s, just be like, hey, I'm in my 40s. You can't drink the same amount of liquid. And I know, especially if you're like me, I've got 23-year-old daughter and kids. And we go out, and I'm like, well, I need to show the young kids how you drink. And then you just don't realize, here I am in my late 40s now, that it's just, I was a better drinker when I was 27 than I am 47. I just can't knock down the same amount. Maybe it's different for everybody, but that's how I am now. And maybe it's because I'm also drinking more hard stuff than I used to. I used to be, a bunch of beer and all that stuff. And you can drink light beers. In fact, now, if I'm going out, that's the only thing I will drink is like Corona Light. Because I know I can have several of those, enjoy myself. Like, don't touch shots, don't touch vodka, no tequila, none of that stuff. Because I get even red wine. I will not even it's not a power drinking thing. You do a glass or two of wine and then you gotta shut it down. If not, get ready for people to talk shit about you.
That's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, I know.
I already got the shit talking going down. Might as well have the buzz to go along with it.
Yeah. So it sounds like a good time, though.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always funny stories that go along.
Yeah.
People getting shit-faced.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories we had on the regular show, so you can hear all about those if you go back and listen if you haven't yet.
I told you that when the wedding started, Virginia was in this little balcony area right by where I was at.
Yeah.
She posted up there, was filming and shit, and just kind of taunting me. And I had to tell her to shut up before the wedding. The wedding's getting ready to start, and I go, Virginia, the wedding's getting ready to fucking start. Serve it. Hey! I want to show you this picture. This is where she was set up. Look at Virginia and look at me. Look how happy I look.
You're all pissy.
I'm so
Virginia's right there
pissed
just
off.
egging you on the entire time.
Hey, shithead.
And I'm also
Nice braids.
Oh, I can now see her. Like when you first showed her, I didn't see where she was. Yeah, she's right over your shoulder.
fucking on me like a cheap suit. Like I owe her money. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so you're standing there. She's just ha ha ha.
Yeah, and then, I don't know if you remember this. It got real quiet, and the guy that was doing the ceremony.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, sorry guys, I'm nervous. How am I doing?" Or he said something along those.
Yeah.
He said something where it got really quiet for a second. You just hear her in the balcony. "You're doing fucking great, baby." You're doing fucking great, baby. She was like the two old Muppet fucks from the Muppets.
Both of them
Both of them.
in one.
Yes.
That's impressive.
That's strong.
It was a strong.
That's a strong statement with the F-bomb in it.
Yeah. Mandolin in the chat room said the same thing. Yeah, my metabolism died a few years ago, so it takes very little to get drunk, which is opposite from what I used to do. I drank 36 beers and 2 bottles of champagne in 4 hours when I was 20. Not anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Really funny picture. And maybe it's funny because I
didn't see her because she blends in because she got the dark hair and it was dark there. I didn't even see her until you just showed
It's
that.
a balcony with bushes all around
Yeah.
it. And so I'm sticking my face out through the bushes. I just look like I'm in a bush.
motherfucker
Yeah,
got in the
you
bushes
do.
and hung out there like a ninja.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew I was fucked. I'm so vulnerable. Out in the open, she's hidden.
Oh, yeah.
She's all liquored up.
Yeah. That's a tough place to be. Tough place to be. So, yeah, so good stuff from there over the weekend. Talking a little bit earlier about Squid Games on Netflix. Interesting reviews on that. Some people like it, some people don't. Very polarizing.
People were texting me, and they were all kind of different shit. They go, people are being haters. They're snobs. It's a great show. Definitely give it a shot. Then other people said, Bird, do not waste your time with it.
Wow.
I feel like I gotta watch it now because it's so polarizing.
I'll give it a run. I'll give it an episode or two.
You know, the other thing that is getting interesting reviews, and a lot of them bad, is the Sopranos spinoff movie.
I know, man. I got the reports in the Keys. People telling me it was shitty.
Panda was so excited, but one of his best friends binged it and told him, "Don't even bother. It's terrible." I guess the actors were good, but the script and the concept was not.
What I read about it was this. HBO cut trailers and promos making you think it was about Tony Soprano and him starting off. And it really wasn't. Now, it had, Tony's kid in there, but it was mainly about Christopher's dad. If you remember The Sopranos, when you watch that, it pretty much focuses on his dad. So you're in there thinking, from the previews HBO made, it's one thing, but it's not. And I heard somebody defending it, saying it is good. If you didn't know any of the Sopranos characters and you went in and watched this, you'd say that's a pretty good movie. But the fact that you were in there preparing mentally and you were expecting one thing, the fact that you didn't get it, that's why the reactions are so negative, because HBO screwed it by setting it up and selling it as something else.
We want to see the old characters. We want to know about Tony and all that
Everybody
stuff.
thought that's what it would be, is you see how everybody that you know from The Sopranos gets going, but it's a character you don't even know, Christopher's dad, who I don't even remember if he was in the original Sopranos. Now, you know Christopher.
He's mentioned. He's mentioned, yeah.
Okay, but that's who it is about. And so when you're like, what the hell is this? This is what I signed up for. Most people can't remove.
I was getting ready to do a binge run on The Sopranos. You get all excited about it.
That's not going to help you out.
Nah.
You're probably better off. This is almost something where if you've never watched The Sopranos, you might like it.
Panda really wanted to come to your house this weekend, Bird, and watch it.
He is coming over.
The Sopranos thing. He's all excited about it, and we don't have HBO Max.
Yeah, I've got the Max.
Yeah, so I'd be curious if somebody could watch it and remove themselves from that.
I will. I'm gonna try to remove myself. I'm gonna go in there watching it as a movie, and then get pleasantly surprised when, holy fuck, a Tony Soprano character. That's cool.
Yeah, that seems like the better approach, and maybe you'll like it then. Not even saying you will, but that's what I'd heard. I'd heard one guy writing a good little dissertation about why so many people were hating it, but that is the overall vibe. Most people hate it.
I trust people. If the chat room watch it and they're telling me, I'm gonna trust them. I will never trust a movie critic. They can go fuck themselves. Movie critics, anybody can be a movie critic.
Yeah,
you know.
True. Mm-hmm. Got a podcast review. Somebody asked if I had known of this story. They said I was listening to this Sword and Scale, and they do a whole story on Logan. And Kev, have you ever heard of this? The review says, deep in the hills of Ohio, where people keep to themselves, hunting, fishing, and partying around the fire pit, sometimes the predator becomes the prey. When Jim Whitaker of Hocking Hills, Ohio, turns up missing, his family naturally becomes concerned. They're even more shocked to find a suicide note he left, implying a twisted love affair that may have brought about his demise. But where is Jim? Only the hills know.
Ooh.
That is how they sold it. I was like, I don't know what this is.
Real story?
It is a real story. So I looked it up, and if you've missed the stories that I've had from my hometown, Logan, there's a lot of just fucked up, twisted stories that have come out of this little dinky town in southeastern Ohio. It's the hills. It's a lot of rednecks and hillbillies and odd places to go. And I looked up a real news story of this, and it says Michael T. Dixon testified that he deliberately shot 56-year-old James T. Whitaker in the early morning hours of July 5th, 2020. So it's not that old. But he did so only after Whitaker held a shotgun on him and threatened his life. Dixon, now 41, and his 19-year-old daughter, Melody Sue Dixon, were living rent-free with Whitaker. Now, this is going to be a twisted little story here. It says Dixon testified that he and Whitaker were regular users of methamphetamine, snorting the drug about every other day. He said Whitaker had invited him to live at the cabin after Dixon had been doing odd jobs for him. He also claimed, however, that during 2 years of living at the cabin, Whitaker had pulled a gun on him about 6 different times.
Oh, my.
That's just regular fun in the hills.
After the third time, you go, all right, man, can we not do this anymore?
Yeah, I don't think you're not a true Loganite if you've not had a gun pulled on you at least once. I mean, we just pull guns on everybody all the time.
And does it start to lose its power after the 5th? You're like, all right, it's like the 6th time you've done this.
Oddly enough, yeah, you're not too scared of it because people pull guns on you all the time there. I don't know why I'm more scared other places. Dixon had said that Whitaker had held the shotgun on him and ordered him to vacate Whitaker's property, but to leave his daughter behind.
Whoa.
This is where it gets a little twisted.
You can leave, but leave your daughter?
Dixon had claimed that when Melody Sue Dixon came out of a bathroom during the confrontation, Whitaker grabbed her by the throat, prompting Dixon to grab at the shotgun. In the struggle that ensued, Dixon recounted Whitaker's shotgun going off, accidentally killing him. Dixon admitted that he dragged Whitaker's body to a burn pile and took the Coleman fuel and set him on fire. Forensic evidence indicated Whitaker's bones had been cut in pieces, possibly with a chainsaw.
Oh, my.
Dixon is facing, now follow this, 2 counts of murder, 7 counts of tampering with evidence, 1 count of engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, 1 count of gross abuse of a corpse, and 1 count of sexual battery. Now, this last charge alleges that he engaged in sexual conduct with his own daughter, who also had been charged in connection with the alleged cover-up of Whitaker's killing. So apparently he killed this guy, set him on fire, chopped up his bones, and fucked his daughter.
Wow. That's it's pretty heavy.
That's your people, huh?
That is Logan.
That's Logan.
That's just Logan.
That's
Just another day in the hills.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, there's some sick, twisted stories out there if you dig deep enough.
Yeah, there are. So, yeah, I had not heard of that story, but yeah, how about that? I got to say thanks to Becky. She said, I heard Kevin telling the story of John Skaggs from Logan, the guy that used to buy him beer for the price of 5 bottles of Boone's Farm.
Skaggs.
When you were sharing the story on the ATSP, I decided to look up Skaggs. in Logan, and I found this. Said, I believe this is John Skaggs' son that you're talking about. Dennis John Skaggs, registered sex offender.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you go.
Is that Skaggs' son?
Probably, because, the one thing I'll tell you about Logan, that's it. The photo's kind of cut off, but you can see the top part into the bottom. Maybe there's a way to fold it. No, probably not. But
Is there a lot of sex offenders in Logan? I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah.
Sex offenders in Logan, Ohio.
Well, the one thing I'll tell you, probably why it is Logan is a town that, like, in that area, people run in clans, if that makes sense, because people never leave. So when you're family, you've got these long-running threads of families that have been there for generations. So if you're a Skaggs, which he is, somehow you're all oddly connected.
Gotcha.
You're part of the that's why we call them the boys or the brothers or the clan or the Skaggs boys, because that's it, because there's multiple generations of these fucktards running around creating havoc in the hills. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting lost in some Logan shit.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and the odd thing about I never know these stories. Like, my parents never would bring them up. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I guess it's another day. You would think, be like, hey, should have heard what happened here in Logan the other day.
Oh, we always had stories in Lake Park.
I mean, the story of and apparently that guy he lied like 7 different times on the stand.
Oh, wow.
Because they kept finding inconsistencies in his story, because it kept getting worse and worse. Because you're like going, okay, so you set the guy on fire, you chopped him up with the chainsaw, then you banged
fucked
your
his
daughter.
His own daughter.
His own daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe your parents just always wanted to give you like a rosy view, and they didn't want to tell you like all the messed up craziness.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, because, I mean, you saw it when you were there, but...
It looks like you have 164?
Skaggs?
164 sex offenders in Logan. Oh, wait. No. You have 164 residents in Logan? Does that sound right?
No.
It's a town of 7,000, 6 to 7,000.
So are they saying there's 164 sex offenders in Logan?
Maybe.
Fuck.
It's a good number. It's actually not it's a bad number, but it's a good amount. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Oh, okay. Logan, Ohio ratio of number of residents to number of sex offenders compared to nearest cities.
Okay.
Logan, 164.
Okay.
Huh.
I don't even know what that number means.
I don't know. I think it sounds like you got some sex offenders there.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I think they're everywhere, guys.
They are.
You can go
You're right.
look, and I did, because I went and looked in my neighborhood. I don't have any in my neighborhood, but just one neighborhood over in this 55 and older community that's right by me. There's a dude right there on the main drag.
Well, they got it all listed to where they've got every person who committed a sex crime and all of their information, and as they should. You got the date of birth, where they lived at, where they're living now, the whole name, and it is going deep on the Logan one.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a crazy little place. So people I just can't believe, because people are always sending me all these murder specials that come out of Logan, and they're always, we had one a couple months ago. Remember that? I'd never heard of that story either.
Does Hunter Street sound familiar?
Yeah, I know Hunter Street.
Okay, what about Utah Avenue?
No.
Okay.
Hunter Street's a big street.
It's a big street?
Yeah.
All right.
It's
What
Is
big
that where one of them lives?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Phelps Road, that sound familiar?
Yeah, there's a lot of roads, because you get on the hill, the country roads and all that. So
I bet you, I want to send you this so you can tell me how many people you know on this list.
I probably recognize a lot of the names. Like I said,
It's the same last name.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Because that's a lot of it. There's that's pretty much what Logan is. There's just a lot of the same relatives and all that.
You mean there's no infusion of new transplants?
People aren't going to the hot destination of Logan?
It is, yeah. It's just weird. And the funny thing about it is, like, when you're driving out of Columbus into Logan, like I said, all of a sudden these hills come out of nowhere, and it's just, there's an odd, eerie kind of creepy about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and you just you realize when you're driving into this, you're driving into different terrain.
The hills have secrets.
The terrain looks different, and the people are different. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know the latest Logan murder podcast specials.
Definitely.
And to Virginia's point, I Googled that before too. Not in my new area, but the last place I was living, I wanted to see how many sex offenders were near me. And I lived by a school, and walking distance of a school, there were still quite a bit of sex offenders around. Holy shit.
You should look in your new neighborhood.
I will.
You haven't looked yet?
I just haven't, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got an email here from Samantha wanting to know, what was that parasite cleanse product that Virginia used, and what were the results?
I don't know if it worked, y'all. I took a lot of... I mean, maybe it worked and I just didn't have worms because I was certain that I had worms, but maybe I didn't.
Okay.
Why were you so itchy butt? Itchy BH?
No, but I eat so much raw fish and pork. And they said those are the two things. If you eat raw fish and pork, you probably most likely, more than definitely have worms. And so I'm like, great, TikTok, I have worms.
And I didn't mean to offend you by insinuating that you did have an itchy butthole. My apologies.
I mean, if I had an itchy butthole, don't you think you would know about it? You sit next to me.
Yeah, you're right.
I would have to itch my butthole. I'm with you all morning.
No, I hear you. Yeah, I don't want to see
You
it.
would notice if I was over here
Yeah, I notice it all, Cindy.
digging in the mine.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a little trick talk type of thing that they're, not a lot to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people on TikTok were swearing that they had worms.
I know.
TikTok gave you bad info? What the shit?
They just seem so believable.
Yeah.
Virginia's love for TikTok is actually growing my hatred for it.
Yeah, well, you're always seeing stuff, and you're like, okay, is that legit or not? In fact, I'd seen something on TikTok somebody had sent me. Alpha lipoic acid is an antioxidant that reduces inflammation and skin aging, but it supposedly is restoring smell and taste for COVID victims. And you can get it at the regular vitamin store, so we went and got it. Alpha lipoic acid, if you're one of those people like my wife, it's been over a year, like 15 months, and she still can't smell.
Did it work? When did you get it?
We just got it yesterday.
Okay.
So I got to see if she's even taken it yet.
Oh, you're just like me. You ran to the store to go buy some stuff you saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's what I did for the intestinal worm cleanse. I did a couple of them.
Intestinal, worm, cleanse. All three words together really is quite disgusting.
It is pretty gross. Yeah, that is. So yeah, what is real and what is not when it comes to TikTok? And then I'd seen this too, which I don't know if this is true. Romeo Beckham. It's and here's the thing. I don't know if it's true on TikTok. David Beckham's kid. Does he have a kid named Romeo?
He does. Him and Posh do.
And they say that he just signed, and the reason why I don't know if it's true, it says Fort Lauderdale CF, which it's Inter Miami CF. So, TikTok doesn't even have the name of the soccer team right. But did David Beckham buy the Miami soccer team so that his son would have a gig? Or is it true that his son just signed with Inter Miami CF? Because, I don't know, are they like Kardashians or something like that? Are people going to start going to see David Beckham's kid playing for Inter Miami?
I mean, it's not a dumb move. He's famous, therefore his kid is famous. His kid definitely has a following.
Yeah, it looks like that's
asses in the
legit.
seats? Does that
Not
help?
your old ass, but like young ass would go.
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, it says Romeo Beckham makes pro debut for Fort Lauderdale, but I mean that's NBC Sports. I don't know why they're calling it Fort Lauderdale.
He's a young hottie.
Yeah, he played 79 minutes for Fort Lauderdale CF in the USL League. Okay, so maybe it's like a minor league team. It's not the
Okay.
Inter Miami CF that's right now playing in Fort Lauderdale.
How many goals did he score?
Doesn't I don't know. I'm not there yet. It says Romeo's father, David Beckham, owns Inter Miami CF, a Major League Soccer. So Romeo for Fort Lauderdale, the reserve team. Okay, so
Okay.
that's where that is.
He's cutting his teeth.
Okay. Doesn't suck to have your dad
No.
kind of leading the way though for you, right?
Doesn't suck to either one of your parents. You kind of hit the jackpot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there you go. So I guess TikTok is actually right on that one. Give them credit. Let me see. Got an email here from Fern. She said, on Friday, Jaybird, I had to put my dog down. Her health declined rapidly, and I know I did the right thing. My family and I are devastated. My dog would sleep every night in my 4-year-old's bed, and it's been so hard on him. What did you do to cope with Chewy when he passed, Jaybird? I feel so lost.
Yeah, I understand. I really had a tough time with it. I wish I had, I wish I would have not had struggled so hard, but I really did go into a pretty bad depression with it. The thing that would help me was staying distracted, doing creative things that I enjoyed doing. That usually kind of gets me out of a funk. Still to this day, I struggle with it. I miss him greatly, and I understand your pain.
Yeah.
Time's going to make you feel better.
Yeah.
I'm just now starting to kind of,
get out of the funk.
Well, yeah, I know my boy's in a, not suffering anymore, but it takes a minute. God,
Yeah.
I love that fucking dog. So I understand your pain, and I'll light a candle for you tonight.
Oh, you can easily mourn a pet as much as you mourn a human. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, sometimes too with humans, you know where they're standing. A lot of times, they can tell you stuff. With a pet, you have to figure out the communication, and when your pet's suffering or getting sick or hurt or that's very tough as a human that wants to help it.
Right.
It can hurt the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Just stay busy, stay creative, do some fun things that's not work related. Fun, cozy. I always like to drown myself in food.
Okay.
Get some friends that make you laugh.
Okay.
But stay distracted. Don't stay alone.
Okay. So that's your advice.
When you're down and out, get up and walk around. Don't sit with your thoughts and stew in it, because you can get into a dark place that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was looking at this story. We had that from last week. Mick Jagger just kind of like walked into
a bar.
Yeah, where was that, like
random,
in North
sat
Carolina, I think
down.
it was. And he was just chilling out and, having a beer, and people were around, and I guess nobody recognized him.
He kind of looks like an old bar guy.
I guess, yeah.
If he had a different hat, maybe he just, he kind of looks like 30 to 40% of the old bar guys that are in the bar right now.
He's old.
He looks like an old bar guy.
It gets to a certain point on this planet, no matter what you try to do, Father Time or Mother Time is going to get your ass.
Yeah.
It's the way it goes.
Well, what's amazing is I saw they had printed up what he does to stay in shape. Mick Jagger is 78 years old. He's almost 80. And they say that he works out 3 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
3 hours a day, 6 days a week. He does weight training, Pilates, jogging, dynamic stretching, and even performs ballet. He's got a 28-inch waist.
Wow.
Right. So if you think I'm a fat ass compared to Mick Jagger. 28-inch waist. He has a diet consisting of fresh fruit, veggies, whole grains, legumes, chicken, and fish. That's what Mick Jagger eats. And on top of that, when he's doing tours, he does well over 10,000 steps a concert, covering that big stage at 78.
That son of a bitch can still move. Yeah, anybody giving that cat any kind of shit for how he looks at 78 can go.
Unreal.
Can kiss.
Yeah.
Can kiss it.
Dude looks great.
He really does.
78, almost 80 years old, and he's still able to do that. That's unbelievable. I mean, that gives you some hope that, hey, if you keep it together, that's why I like seeing his workout and what he does. Now, I mean, I don't know if anybody that's not a performer has 3 hours to work out, and I'm sure he's got facilities and trainers and chefs and all that kind of stuff.
And I'm sure he does, your basic maintenance. He probably does some kind of a Botox, probably some kind of a dye, I'd imagine.
Maybe.
No. Have you seen his face? That dude doesn't do no Botox. Get out of here. Botox. He looks like an old shoe. He ain't doing no Botox.
See, I think that's the most recent. That's a great fucking picture.
But, I mean, that's a wrinkly bitch. He ain't doing no Botox. You don't even understand what Botox
I mean,
does.
he looks great for 78, but yeah.
I do.
Hey, Botox would not want him to be an endorser.
Okay, well, I didn't think. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sadly, the Rolling Stones not coming to South Florida. The closest they're going to get is Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. They're playing there on Friday, October 29th. But, yeah, I mean, I remember seeing them 20 years ago, and I'm like, this has to be their last tour.
What? And then the person at that concert goes, man, I saw them 20 years ago. I thought that was going to be their last tour. I think it just keeps on going.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. Probably. It's just amazing how they keep it going. 78-year-olds on a world tour.
Do you have
That's
a
insane.
favorite Stones song that you only get one Stones song? What is it?
Oh man, I really do listen to the Stones. I like.
That's why I'm asking.
I'm more of their older stuff, but gosh, man,
You're a Wild Horses man.
I love Wild Horses. There's the first song that just popped into my head. It's not safe to say it's my favorite from them. Under My Thumb is a song that dun 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 dun. What's amazing about them is really they've got a lot of variety in their songs. It's not like there's some artists to me like AC/DC. Every song pretty much sounds the same. You know, there's not a lot of variety in their stuff. But the Rolling Stones has a lot of different sounding songs.
Wild Horses, good sex song. I'm talking like the romantic love kind of sex where you're like, I love you. You're quivering as you say you love each other. No?
I guess.
Shut the fuck up.
Wild Horses is a good one. I like Angie a lot. I think that's a great song. Yeah, no, they've got... I do like Bitch. I do like Brown Sugar. I know it's not a PC song anymore, but I do like that. Undercover of the Night. So they got a lot of good stuff.
What's Brown Sugar about?
It's
okay. What else they get into?
Taboos. Yeah, it's now social taboos. In fact, you know, I wonder if they still do the song. It's one of their biggest songs ever. But yeah, it's kind of like Slave Master, kind of like stuff.
Huh.
You look at it. But, I mean, you could look at it as, hey, it's just telling what was going down. So, did happen once upon a time. So.
Oh, it's a song about slavery is what you're telling me.
Basically, slave masters taking the brown sugar whenever they want.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, if they're telling it from a historical point of view, why would people get offended by it?
Some of those things, but you just touch
I don't know
it.
it, so I'm speaking out of turn probably.
Yeah.
I've never heard it. You do like that song?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great song, and I'm one of those people though that I don't really delve too deep into the lyrics, so I can just sing brown sugar, you know, and I'm not paying at all attention to like what I'm singing.
Kevin's
like,
not looking for a deep
sugar,
meaning from
I'm like,
words.
Yeah, they're going, hey, you know what brown sugar is? No, I just love it, man. Brown sugar. Be like,
It reminds me of that. Was it Arrested Development when they sing the karaoke song? They're singing a duet together, and the words are.
Oh, that's right. After they do Afternoon Delight,
Yeah,
it's him and his niece.
Yeah,
and they're singing.
Like, oh shit, these
Afternoon
words are a little.
It's like cut. Yeah, that's kind of one of those songs. You want to watch what you're singing. So there you go. All right. Well, thank you for locking in on a Monday, day of recuperation. Everybody's going to be back to 100% on Tuesday.
Like 90.
Okay, we go 90. It takes a while. Yeah. All right.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.